Good morning. We're here once again. Coming up short. We got to figure out, how to not put ourselves in those situations. Thought the defense played well, except for two plays. The long run and the deep ball. So I thought they did a really good job of slowing them down. Didn't let them march up and down the field. Kept the quarterback contained to probably the last play. When he broke a tackle and put him in good field goal range. And offense, we got to continue to get better. We wasn't hitting on all cylinders. We got to do better with the protection. Got to do better just across the board on the offense side of the ball. We got to keep our quarterback upright. We got to get him to start playing better also. And it all starts with me. And, so we'll go back and we'll look at some things today and see what we need to do to get this offense jump started. On special teams, I thought we played well for the most part. We missed some calls, especially calls when they come from the sideline. The kid gets out there, they hear something else. So we got to do a better job of just saying, hey, go with the call that you hear from the sideline. Because I don't know if somebody changed the call, but the kid was confused. The 2 punt returns, was really good. We thought we should have scored on it, but we didn't. So we'll go back and look at everything today. But, just coming up short like that kind of stings a little bit, especially, with the kids.
Coach, I was going to ask, when you things with the kids, what's the feel? What was the feel in the locker room after the loss, and just like, how do you think the mindset of your team's going to be throughout this week and everything?
No, they'll bounce back. They'll bounce back. If you know their generation bounced back quicker than my generation. So it's not about them bouncing back; it's about me bouncing back. Because my thing is, just some of the things we can't control, and other people are controlling it, and so I'm trying to figure that out. If you got a job to do your job. If you're not going to do it at a high level, don't do it. And they knew who I'm talking to. I'm not going to say their name because they're going to want to find me. But we got to understand the situation that we're in when we play games like that we can't leave it in other people's hands. And we did it once again, and we came up short.
You mentioned it with the offense, not clicking on all cylinders, kind of starting slow a couple of times this season. What has been, it's kind of a broad question, but what has been, do you think, the problem with the offense? Is it the play calling? Is it the execution that you mentioned all the time, finding gaps and everything? What do you think is the main problem with the offense not executing at the level?
I think it's all above. I think it has to do with execution, has to do with play calling, has to do with starting something, not finishing it. And so we got to get them back believing that they can score points. And that's my job to do that this week. We'll have a wrinkle. We'll have some wrinkles in this week to try to help jumpstart it a little bit.
You spoke a little bit about keeping your quarterback up and Miles playing better. I saw you on the sideline, like 5 yards from me, talking to Ashton, telling him to stay ready, everything. How close were you to making a QB switch at the game, give a spark or anything like that?
Well, I had made the switch. If we'd have got the ball back, but we was going into 2 minute. Miles had ran the 2 minute drill that week, so I put Miles back in. But Aston Fry, he's a kid, that's is a big time quarterback. So we got to go back this week and see what's going to go on and see, how we can get him into the game plan. We just got to go back and see that.
Have you considered changing play calling duties regularly?
No. Dude is a play caller. Well, it's just more technique, staying square, not turning your shoulders, keeping your eyes on the back. Because they had a good game plan. They would bring 3 or bring 4, and then they'll add on either the 4th or the 5th one. When the back goes away, he adds on. So our back had to hang in there a little bit, So we got to do a better job, communicating that to the kids on Saturday. Because I seen it yesterday, and that's what they were getting us at. And then a lot of movement. The defense, they moved every snap. They moved the slant, they angled, they twist, they did every snap they moved. So I take totally blame for that they probably didn't see enough of it during the week. So I'm heavily involved now on the offense side of the ball. I'm heavily involved.
I think you're giving Dooley and Reggie a lot of grace. At what point do you decide to, maybe pull back from them and maybe call the plays yourself?
Well, I think if it gets to that, if the woes continue, but we can't let it get so far out of hand. But I think we can get it. I think we can get it back this week with me being more involved this week. Like I'm talking about more involved than I have been in the past. So I'll be more involved with it, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
When you say you're going to be more involved, what specifically can the fans expect from you, like throughout this week in practice and everything? What are you doing to be more hands-on, I guess, in the play?
I'm going to tell you what plays I want to see and what plays I want you to call.
When you look at Pine Bluff, obviously, kind of the flip-flop in terms of styles of quarterbacks
Yeah.
we saw this past week. I guess what do you see from him? I think the receiver too leads the FCS in yardage as well.
Oh yeah, 11's a explosive kid right out of Opelousas. And the funny thing about this kid, I was face to face with this kid in the spring, and when he was leaving Monticello, and I probably should have took him, but I didn't, because we already had signed our class. But it's very explosive offense. Tony Hall does a great job over there. We kind of know what to expect. The kid can really spin the ball, but they have a well-balanced offense. They try to run it, but they want to throw it. The defense, same way, they're going to be scrappy. Like all these games are going to be like this. All these games are going to be tight. It's going to come down to the wire. We just can't leave it in other people's hands.
I mean, you mentioned in previous pressers and just now where it's like in these games, it's like it's always going to be super close. You've had a couple games now where it's come down to the wire. One a couple weeks ago in overtime, lost in overtime, then lost this one. What do you think is those minute differences that make the game, for you guys to win it or to lose in these tight situations?
Well, we got to finish. We got to finish. We got to make the plays when the plays need to be made. We can't give up, a 70-yard run. We can't give up a 73-yard, touchdown. And we can't get in the red zone and kick field goals. We got to score touchdowns. The only way you win championships if you score touchdowns, not field goals.
There are no other questions. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.